I would like to share with you how we can use the fascia, this interconnected web that we have all throughout our body, as a psychosomatic resource, helping us to achieve a greater body-mind connection and consequent healing. That we have this interconnection between our physical and our mental-emotional body is not a new concept. Centuries ago, the yogis already theorized this through the Pancha Maya Kosha model, the 5-body model that basically tells us that there are different koshas, different sheets or layers of our being, all the way from the physical through the energetical, psycho-emotional, intellect, and even bliss body. Modern science has caught up on this in the last few decennia by showing numerous research that really gives that pinpoint of how the physical and the mental emotional bodies are deeply interconnected. And this has opened up the Western mind to the idea that we can use the physical body as a gateway to those deeper layers and consequently be able to heal mental disorders such as chronic stress, anxiety, and even trauma. And this has really paved the road for a whole array of body-focused therapies that have a deep healing effect on the psychological level. And guess what? Working with the fascia gives us key ways to do this. The fascia being that all interconnecting, all encompassing web of connective tissue enveloping every organ, every bone, every muscle in our entire body, and hence connecting the entire system together. Science has found that inside the fascia we find way more sensory nerve endings, the nerve endings that are responsible for bringing inputs from the outer world but also from our inner environment into the central nervous system, allowing us to evaluate that and then decide how to act. So there are far more of those found in the fascia than in the actual muscle tissue itself. So by working with the fascia, we are able to directly influence the nervous system and hence our mind. The main part of the nervous system that we want to focus on in this work is called the autonomic nervous system. That part of our nervous system that regulates things like heartbeat, blood pressure, digestion, and so forth. This system has two sides to it. On the one hand, we have the sympathetic nervous system, and on the other hand, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic is also sometimes called fight or flight. This is the system that is our activator, that on a very basic level, animal kingdom level, is responsible for saving us from danger, running away from that lion. Either we have to fight or we have to flee. Then on the other hand, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. This is also called rest and digest. And this works in sync to allow us, after a strong activation, to then be able to rest and digest. But for instance, if we are running from a tiger, there is no time to digest our food. All our blood has to go to our muscles to either fight or flight. And the system then regulates itself back afterwards once the danger is gone, in order to allow us to digest the food, to rest, to sleep, to heal, etc. This system is always looking for balance. It's in a constant seeking so-called homeostasis between itself. But what can happen a lot is that when we live, we might not be running from tigers all day, but we do live in a world that has constant stimulation, and there's a lot of activation of our nervous system. And when it gets overactivated, we can kind of tend to get stuck in the sympathetic side. The system cannot regulate itself properly and come back to parasympathetic. And so we start coming into a constant state of stress, digestive issues, high blood pressure, all signs of us being in this sympathetic part of the nervous system, and that can become chronic. Chronic tension in the muscles. If the muscles are always tensed up to fight or flight, what is that going to do with our body and how we feel in the body? I'm going to tell you about 2 different ways in which working with fascia has a profound effect on regulating our autonomic nervous system and also supporting a greater body-mind connection. Targeted release is the first one I want to share with you. And this is one of the 6 building blocks of the Samarasa healthy fascia approach. In targeted release, we can think of both vibratory techniques or more deep tissue-like techniques, such as myofascial release. Fascia scientists have found that by working in this way, we tap into those sensory nerve endings in the fascia that are responsible for increasing our interoception, our ability to feel ourselves better from the inside and have hence a greater body-mind connection. Increasing this connection helps us to, in a way, hold better space for ourselves, which is fundamental when it comes to healing trauma-like issues. Secondly, they found that by doing this specific type of release, we are actually, our system, our nerve endings are sending signals to the central nervous system to activate the parasympathetic side of our nervous system, the rest and digest, hence decreasing blood pressure and releasing muscle tension. The second one I want to share with you is called resting in stretch, also one of our 6 building blocks to healthy fascia. Scientists found that when we really go into prolonged stretches, we are able to not only increase this idea of interoception, this increased body-mind connection, and hence also increased sense of safety within ourselves, but it actually inhibits the sympathetic activation altogether. So by working through the body, through the fascia, we are able to have such a profound effect on our nervous system and on our mind. Isn't that incredible? If you care to join us on this journey of creating an overall more healthy fascia, a deeper connection between body and mind, and an increased sense of safety within ourselves, you are most welcome in one of our trainings. We have online trainings and offline trainings. I will also be sharing with you a guided practice that will help to embody what I've shared with you today in much deeper way. And in the meantime, if you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like and even leave a comment. It would be great to interact with you more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to support our efforts in bringing this information out there. And also feel free to share this video with anyone who you think it may be relevant for. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day.